What's happening, Flow State Jedis? Welcome back to the channel, Flow State Activation. As you can see, I'm at a temple right now, tattoo temple. I want to speak to you guys today basically about why I chose this particular Flow State deity to work with first before any other deities or any other pantheons, let's just say, because it interested me so much, okay? What do I mean by Flow State deity, first of all? So, I had originally reached out to sorcerer Frank White, who pointed me towards Janus. Now, Janus is also known as January, right? January, the start of the month, the start of the year. And John, also relating to janitor, so he's the literal gatekeeper. He's the one who holds the keys. I just got a gatekeeper tattoo right here today. Symbolize the aspects of flow state, because one of his heads faces towards the past and another one of his heads faces towards the future. So he's like the perfect embodiment of presence and flow state, at least for me, and from Frank's understanding and teachings around that, which gave me, and I kind of had an idea of it based on Dennis. Dennis was basically telling me a similar datum, so I kind of put two and two together as well. He's basically also the god of merit, so I had to earn this tattoo. I didn't just, come down here and get it. It actually felt like a transformation. Like, this needed to happen in terms of my character evolving. And Mom, I'm sorry if you're watching this, I get it, okay? I got another tattoo. In any sense, I think this is so pivotal for my life and my lifestyle and who I'm trying to become and who I want to be in this journey. I basically don't want to keep suppressing and editing myself and like worrying about YouTube algorithm and all this kind of stuff. I just kind of want to get on a camera like this and just keep speaking, And as long as I can keep doing that, I think I can generate enough chi, prana, flow state, whatever you want to call it, and just keep it rolling. You know what I'm saying? Now, Janus also works with time, right? Because time is such an interesting concept, like the idea of all timelines existing simultaneously. You kind of understand the concept logically, but actually living through it and like being in different parallel moments, you could say parallel universe moments where you have a choice and you become the walking choice point in each and every moment, where you're like, hey, if I do this, this will have this consequence, right? You kind of know, you can peer into the edge of the future a little bit to understand what's going on. So someone asked me a very interesting question, I believe it was Deepak in the group. He's asking me about time and what is my idea of time, and do I believe in, all of these timelines coexisting. I understand it logically, and I've had a lot of experiences in my life that have confirmed the fact that my past lives, or past life, you could say, younger life, merges with my current life and my future life, or my higher self, you could say. I've had a lot of synchronicities and very profound, mystical experiences, quasi-mystical experiences that basically got me to that standpoint. Now, it's very interesting to think about the whole timelines theory, how all timelines are happening at once. That means that you already have what you need in the future. It's like, it's already there, it's just the time hasn't caught up yet. You haven't manifested it yet. So the way that I see the past is, I see the past like a library. This is how a yogi sees the past as well, right? They see it as a library. They don't see it as some place where, they set up a tent and start living there and being stuck in the past, you see? In a library, you just borrow some books, right? You borrow some books and then you keep the books back. That's the whole process of a library. Now, you do need a library card to access this, which is your own mind, going down that nostalgic trip or that nostalgic rabbit hole, as we've all done. And it can be triggered very easily by an old song, an old memory, an old lover, an old friend, an old understanding, an old concept, They're little reminders, meaning coming back to mind. But we have to get out of our mind in order to be an empty mind or mushi. Presence is where Mushin lives, where flow state lives. It's that sense of beingness, allowing the time to be as it is, not trying to speed it up or slow it down, because time distorts as you start tapping in. You see what I'm saying? Now, how do I see the future? I see the future almost like an imaginarium aquarium, man. That's a bar right there. Like that idea or concept of this manifestation chamber, you know, like where so many great things can happen, so many blessed, this is another funny thing. So I said the post the other day that was talking about blessing, like be less. So bless, the word itself, is be less, right? That's what it sounds like. It's word alchemy. It's, you know, it's similar to the understanding of like morning or, you know, weekend. These words that, you know, could influence someone in the population. And, you know, we're thinking about a language is for the gods, you know, in a sense, to like that is what you need as a magician to, like, those are spelling, right? So you've got to understand how you use your words. And so when you're blessing someone, or when someone sneezes and you say bless you, of course it's autopilot. Like I do it all the time, you know what I mean? Like I just say bless you. It's nice to say it, like I'm not opposed to it or anything, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like interesting to know that the word sounds like this other word, and that's where my mind takes over. I almost go to this creative liminal space, kind of like how Janus is that in between, you know. He's not really, he's a maybe, he's a question mark, he's an enigma. You can't really put your finger on it because he keeps moving every time you try to catch him. I'm saying, and he also helps you open any doorway. Now this is very, very interesting because Ganesha, there's a Ganesha statue actually right outside, which is quite amazing. But Ganesha would kind of be like the Indian equivalent of Janus. And I bought like a little paperweight that had basically Ganesha on one side, Ganesha on the other side. And this is actually a form of Ganesha. This happened maybe in the 1780s where they first discovered this, like a while back, right? The connection between both, because they were both obstacle removers, right? They got rid of any obstacles or preventing you from your path working or your journey. So, and also Ganesha is also the protector and the preserver, and they, you know, he believes in abundance and all this. So knowing that, I chose Janus to work with as well, because I thought, hey man, that's super interesting how there's a connection. And by the way, it's called Dvimukhi Ganesha. Okay, Dvimukhi means two-faced or two heads. If you start to understand that, hey, Ganesha, he's looking at the past, he's looking at the future, and you know, it's a little bit of a different concept in a sense, because one is the human form and one is the elephant form. Some depictions, it's like that. Or it could be the younger version of him and the older version of him as well. So understanding this from the information that I got, from the synchronicities that I got, I chose Janus as one of the main deities that I wanted to work with. And I think that it's kind of interesting and inspiring too. Like, I'm not really like into the Roman pantheon, but I might have had like a past life or something in Rome, because I keep seeing, you know, imagery of like the Colosseums, or like, you know, just like Julius Caesar's reign, you know, like that era, that time, right? I kept seeing like different visuals in my dreams and dreamscapes or lucid dreams. I was like an emperor of some sort. I don't really know. But yeah, going to that Balinese healer and having him tell me that I had a past life as some kind of a sadhu, like a man in a white robe, really made me understand. You know, someone said this, I believe, I forgot your name, sister. You told me that once, a really long time ago, you told me that I was a Buddha with tennis shoes. And I thought that was a very interesting analogy, you know. And of course, you know, I'm blushing, like at that, that's a great compliment first and foremost, but also like, it's understanding this idea of like merging the spiritual with the natural, you know, with what is, with reality, not going up in the clouds and setting up a castle in the clouds, but bringing the cloud down to the physical realm and using the cloud imagery or the ideas or the imagination. This is why I call the future the Imaginarium Aquarium, right? It's just like, It's this little echo chamber of manifestation. Whenever you get into your mind or you feel something really deeply through your beingness, there's always these little pockets of possibility that open up. So I want you to think about that today. If you have any questions around Janus or how I work with him, or how you can give offerings, or how you can set up rituals, let me know. I work with a lot of other deities, Shivaji being one of them, of course, including Deno. Deno was like one of the first so-called energies that I worked with. He's a Native American spirit, more so associated with anamorphing into a tiger. That was interesting. And that was also after a session with a healer who told me about it. I had no clue at the time what I was doing. So you're gonna learn through this process, man. It's gonna get a lot easier. So we just finished up our event and it went amazing, man. Like, so many learning lessons, like 18 hours plus of content, 2 hours, like 1 hour, 1 hour. We went 2 hours one day, and it's just like we're just giving, freely. It's like so unattached to just giving value, And we're gonna keep, these people accountable in the group and make sure that they're crushing it. 2 weeks from now, maybe you're down the line. Who knows? Like that Telegram group, maybe it will exist. Who knows how long Telegram will exist? We don't know. Elon Musk is talking about, doing stuff on Twitter, right, Joey? Yeah, buying it out or whatever, making it bankrupt. So thank you for watching, guys. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. You already know.